And I'm reminded of a story about two gentlemen, very wealthy, ran companies, very wealthy. They ended up getting terminally ill. They put them in this facility. The guys were in this facility, would come out every single day in the common area. They would have fun, they would do their thing, and they would put them in a room, they would eat, they would drink. And so one of the guys, he asked the nurse, he said, "Hey nurse, can you put me in a room with that guy? I really like him, man. We're having a great time, we're hitting it off." She said, "Sure." She put him in the same room. So she would bring him something, water, something to drink, some food. Every single day they would eat, they would drink. And so one of the guys, he had a bed and it was by the window. And so every single day his buddy on the opposite side would say, "Man, can you tell me what you see out that window when you get the strength to lift yourself up?" And he said, "Yeah, cool." So every single day they would eat, they would drink, and he would lift himself up and he would look out of the window and he would say, "Man, I see a beautiful skyline." Say, "Man, I see beautiful flowers, beautiful kids, running, playing, beautiful couples, walking, holding hands." And this guy on the opposite side would say, "Man, thank you so much. That really helped me. You know, we're about to die. Really helped me." One day, nurse came in the room, guy with the bed by the window had died. She started prepping him, she's taking him out of the room, and as she's rolling him out, the guy on the opposite side said, "Hey nurse." He said, "What is it?" He said, "Can you do me a favor?" He said, "Yeah, what is it?" He said, "Whenever you put that guy wherever you gotta put him, can you come back and can you please roll my bed by the window? I want the opportunity to lift up, look out of that window and see what he should tell me about that really helped me in my situation." She said, "Sure." Next day she came in, brought him some water, brought him some food. He ate, he drank his water. He lifted himself up, he looked out of the window, and the only thing he saw was a brick wall. He started yelling, screaming, "Nurse, nurse, get in here." Nurse came running. She said, "What is it?" He said, "Why is there a brick wall there?" He said, "You know, my buddy used to tell me about this beautiful skyline, beautiful flowers, you know, beautiful couples walking, holding hands, beautiful kids playing." He said, "Can we please get that wall removed?" He wanted the whole wall removed. The nurse responded and she said, "You didn't know?" He said, "No what?" She said, "You really didn't know?" He said, "No, no what?" She said, "He was blind." She said, "He couldn't have seen that even if he wanted to." She said, "You didn't know." Every day he did that because he knew it brought you joy. Every day he did that because he knew it brought you peace. Every day he did that because he knew it helped you with your situation. Every day he was about to die himself, but he had a blind guy that lifted himself up, looked out of a window, and painted a picture that he couldn't even see, simply because he knew it served as a blessing to his counterparts. And so as I leave you today, I have to pose the question, why do you really do what you do, and where is it taking you? Like, what's the GPS that's on the end of our decisions and our choices? Like, where is it really taking us? Because at the end of the day in life, it's only two things that matter. And it's not about the biggest car, it's not about the biggest house, it's not about the bank account. It's only two things that matter. It's about who we become in life, and it's about what we give back to life. And I don't know about you, but every single day I'm blessed to be above ground. I'm gonna make my time count, and I'm gonna give something valuable back to life. I think that's all a person needs, is a perspective shift. Because I believe perspective affects performance, and how one view what they do will always affect how they do what they do. Like, I'm a psychology guy, and I'm always intrigued by a person's thought process about how they do what they do. I've been on this quest to figure out, how can a person start something and be on fire, but the moment something doesn't go the way that they want it to go, they're not the same individual. I've been on this quest to figure out, how can a person be on fire and say, "Man, this is what I've been put on this earth to do," but the moment a couple of things don't come back the way that they thought it would come back, they're not the same individual, and the words that they once spoke, it means nothing to them. I've been on this quest to figure out, how can a person get on a journey to dreams, goals, and aspirations, and the moment they hit opposition, adversity, or challenge, it doesn't mean anything to them anymore. Like, I asked a guy 2 weeks ago, I said, "Man, is your happiness that cheap? Like, is your dedication that cheap? Is your level of commitment that cheap to where all it takes is for something not to go the way that I want it to go, and I'm not the same individual, and the level of which I once cared, I no longer care that deep about?" Like, is it that cheap? Like, is that all it takes for me to get started and something doesn't go the way that I want it to go, and I'm not invested in it anymore? And what I've always wanted to do was be committed beyond circumstance. And be committed beyond compartmentalization, meaning my greatness and my excellence can't be compartmentalized to an individual, to an environment, to a circumstance, meaning it is my essence. I show up and I want to impact because this is who I am as an individual. It's my essence, meaning when the adversity and the opposition hit, like, the only thing I've been trained to do was to think positive and look positive. I reverse engineered it.
I was so hard-headed at first. My grandma didn't even believe in me. I kept going though. All I can say is I told you. Jury at the bank now in the vault. You should've never doubted me. I'ma work to my last breath. I'ma hustle to my last breath. Yeah, you should've never doubted me. The pain and the struggle followed me. My daddy never been that bothered me. And these cold streets made a man of me. Though a time it'll come, they doubt me. Had to keep them OGs round me. Keep a young homie grounded. You never know where your motivation to come from. We do the most with these bras and pop shundun. They try to push you aside, you gotta fight some. I had a line on the thigh and then we back guns. I want that number one spot, I'm like icon. I got that beast in my eyes, I'm like Tyson. With my heart and my drive, I know I'm righteous. Keep some ice in me, rocky like Pepper. Once you win, you gon' want more. Set a tree and need an encore. I was down on my last when I found myself. I be a fighter to the end, to my last breath. I got angels all around me, yeah. I got love all around me, yeah. I be a fighter to the end, to my last breath. I'ma hustle to my last breath. I got angels all around me, yeah. I got love all around me, yeah.
We are, yeah, I say that we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance, get your boutiques on. All black, everything. Black cars, all.
Every nigga in my gang unemployed. You fuck around, you must spawn a gang war. I got an old girl and I transport her. Stepping is a habit, I got Zans on me. I'm hotter than the flame, keep the fan on me. Catch me whipping up Hussein with them bands on me. I'ma kill the competition and I'm playing for keeps. You see what